All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. I was watching another brother's video, and he was talking about the 6G memorandum that the Duck was, I guess he just signed it or whatever. I didn't see the news on it, but he was able to catch it. So I'm just gonna look into it, and I just typed it in on X and see what popped up, and it says Nokia's CEO says by 2030, smartphones will be implemented directly into our bodies as 6G becomes fully operational. So right now, I think we're on 5G. You know, your phone says 5G, 4G. You know all these. You know, I don't even know what that means. Let's start there. I think it means the fifth generation. What is 6G? Let's start there. 6G is sixth generation. It is the upcoming mobile communication standard, the successor to 5G, aiming for vastly faster speeds, terabits per second, near zero latency, microsecond level, and massive device connectivity, integrating AI for intelligent networks that seamlessly blend the physical and digital worlds. With research and standardization underway and expected deployment around 2030, it will utilize higher frequency bands, including terahertz, enabling advanced applications like immersive extended reality, XR, digital twins, and ubiquitous AI integration. Key features and goals: extreme speed and low latency, AI native for higher frequencies, digital twins, immersive experiences, ubiquitous connectivity. You know what? This all makes sense now, man. This all makes sense now, man. Oh, man. Because right now the nation is going through flu is starting to increase. Yes, it's during the flu season and things like that, but it don't be the flu. Most of the time, this shit's not the flu, man. This shit you don't see going on that's affecting us, and it be this type of shit, man. He's creating things. I just saw a video. You see, this is why when the Lord put the spirit on you to do a video, and you don't do it, it it's not good, man. You know, I try to do as many videos as I can, but you know now I see why elder brothers be doing. Like Apostle Hall, he'll do 5, 6 videos, and it seems like a lot of work, and it's not good to tell people that, but because you don't do the video when the Lord put the spirit on you, um, you know, you can miss that, because there was, I forgot where it was, but I saw it was a bunch of birds flying away from something, like mad, like hundreds of thousands of birds, and in the caption it said the birds are telling us something. And last time I saw birds do that was, I think it was somewhere in New York. It was an Apple company, and these birds were trying to fly into the Apple, because Apple has these glass, like it's like transparent glass, and they were flying into the glass. So they clearly doing something there, and it's affecting the freak. But the birds, the animals, they can sense it, and they're freaking out. It's throwing their vibration off. They're trying to get away from it. But us, we're so disconnected from nature that, he's slowly been giving it to us and lying to us that while we feel sick, this is because these different vibrations, and people are starting to feel sick right now, and it's making me think, brothers bringing this out with the birds that I saw, that it's probably this 6G shit that he's implementing. Now, I don't know. I can't prove that the science, I don't know the science behind why higher frequencies lead to you getting sick. but it's maybe your body has to get used to that frequency. So there's more radiation. So radiation will make you sick. So that higher radiation, if your body ain't used to it, it'll start to. I'm just speaking through the spirit as a man. I don't know, not a doctor, but I think the higher frequency, you get sick, or that's a sign of it. That's a symptom of the shit that they're doing. All right. So you got to be aware of this shit, man. Mad people are getting sick right now. Then they're telling you, oh, go get the jab. People are running to get the jab because more people are getting sick, and it be because he's fucking up your environment. All right. So that's what 6G. It means 6th gen, higher frequencies. It says something about terahertz. Okay, let's go to 5G. Let's just go backwards for a sec real quick. The 5th generation is the 5th generation of cellular network technology, succeeding 4G, offering significantly faster speeds, lower latency, less delay, and greater capacity to connect many more devices, enabling smoother streaming, quicker downloads, and powering innovations like smart cities. Now, 5G was probably implemented around the time when the vid came out. Mad people got sick. Now, he's probably rolling this out slowly but surely, so it's not a lot of people there's people getting sick, but it's not like everybody, because he ain't just gonna throw it all out at the same time and get everybody sick. But yet he's doing it very strategically, very slowly, so you can kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, because that's where the wicked like to live, in the gray area. They don't like to be on one side or the other. Okay, 5G is the 5th generation, and that's why China's the way it is, man. They be getting sick all the damn time, and look at how fast. Look at their country. It's like super digital, technical. It's supposedly more advanced, but when you really think about it, you really ain't what you think you are, man. You really just some dumbass heathen, like the Lord. That's why you're stupid as hell. As smart as you are, you're really dumb as fuck. Succeeding 4G, offering significantly faster speeds, lower latency, less delay, and greater capacity to connect many more devices, enabling smoother streaming, quicker downloads, and powering innovations like smart cities, autonomous vehicles, and advanced IoT, which is Internet of Things. I think that's what that means. Let me look that up just to double check. What is this? Internet of Things is a vast network of physical objects, things embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies, allowing them to connect and exchange data over the internet, creating smart environments that improve efficiency and automation in homes, cities, and industries by enabling devices to communicate and act without direct human input. And we're starting to see that more. There's more. Everything's smart. If you live in a condo, like these newly built condos that you see, they're starting to have more smart capability. So you might get into your apartment through an app. Your locks, everything's through the app. You got to scan this. You got to scan your phone over a door or something like that. So that's clearly just like with when you went to the credit card. Okay, it says allowing them to connect and exchange data over the internet, creating smart environments that improve efficiency and automation in homes, cities, and industries by enabling devices to communicate and act without direct human input. So that's the IoT. It works by using a wider range of radio frequencies and more advanced antennas, massive MIMO, and network architectures, network slicing to handle more data efficiently, creating a more responsive, reliable, and flexible mobile internet experience. So Esau has been slowly increasing it, but 6G, that's the last G. I don't believe it's gonna go past that. Okay, because he got a short time. He ain't got 16G coming. All right, 6G, that's good enough for him. That's it. He can implement his MOTB device because he just passed that memorandum. So the G's been going up. I'm not gonna get too far on it, but just to get some background because I forgot about it. 4G or fourth generation is the cellular network technology that succeeded 3G, bringing significantly faster speeds, lower latency, and higher capacity, enabling HD video streaming, mobile gaming, and the widespread use of data-heavy apps, with LTE long-term evolution being the most common standard within 4G that most users experience. As fast, reliable mobile network internet is the foundation for most current mobile communication, allowing for all IP internet protocol communication and supporting more devices and services than ever before. Now, if you keep going back and back, you probably can connect different to the different flu seasons and things like that. Okay, these different towers that he's putting up, the more 4G towers, the more radiation that you're being affected with. Now, you can't see radiation, but he knows the levels. If you were looking for these such things and you started looking around for it, you'll see there's probably higher levels of radiation within the city. Because when you look at the flu, where the flu is expanding, it's states like Massachusetts, where there's more people, New York, but then other areas like Florida, it's a little less. It's still populated, but not like a New York or, like a Massachusetts or California. But then like Dakota, in the Midwest, it's all green, so they're not being affected by it like that. They're more spread across, and they want to get most of the people. But it ain't really some respiratory issue, as he'll tell you it is. It's actually because your body's fighting the frequencies that you can't see. Okay, being the most common standard. So, just to get a thing, let's see what he says. So like you.
Well, it will definitely happen. I was talking. Well, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Just like brothers been saying, man. This ain't new to anybody, but as soon as we heard the word, we believe, and what he's basically saying is Revelation the 13th chapter. I'm gonna read it. We're gonna keep reading it till it come, and then when y'all get destroyed, hey, you can't say you didn't know. Revelation 13 verse 16, and he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And don't think that these rest of these nations ain't gonna be doing the same thing. They did the same thing when it came to the jab shot. They were telling their people the same type of thing that they were telling you here in America. So everybody's gonna be faced with doing this. That's the World Economic Forum. Let's see what that is. What is the World Economic Forum? The World Economic Forum, and the WEF, is an international organization that connects business, political, academic, and other leaders to discuss the shape global, regional, and industrial agendas, aiming to improve, quote unquote, the state of the world through public-private cooperation. Known for its annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland, it serves as a platform for collaboration addressing major issues for economic stability and climate change, to technological innovation using research, dialogue, and partnerships to drive progress. You think these nations give a fuck about climate change when they're building nuclear missiles? Instead of this slow-paced carbon footprint that's constantly increasing every year, in an instant when these thermonuclear missiles go off, that's going to drastically change your climate. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me grab this in Malachi. For you climate change people, the climate's going to change. Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So you're going to be destroyed. Like in an oven, like a hot oven. That's what's coming to this place. Okay? But simultaneously, while the wars are kicking off, just like Lord's will, I can get into that with a couple. I found some videos about Trump just met with Vladimir Zelensky. They're supposed to be coming up with a peace plan, 20-point peace plan to get Vladimir Putin to stop bombing their ass. But before he came over here, he bombed Kiev. So they must have been talking about that too. And I'm curious to see what they say about that. Revelation 13. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So this mark, like he said, your smartphone's going to be in your body. That's the mark that he's talking about. All right, he's talking about the mark. He's talking about some technology that goes inside of your body. Okay. It says, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand, and a badge of the followers of the Antichrist, a stamp and a printed mark. And it's basically talking about, let's look at the Greek word for it, charagma. Okay. But this mark is, it's ultimately, it's like you brand, it's like it says it here, the mark branded upon horses, hence why they call it the mark of the beast. You know, when you were in slavery, your owner would brand you to say, this is my slave. That's what he's doing with y'all. Y'all are slaves to Esau Edom. He's putting this mark inside you. It's a spiritual mark to really show the Lord that, yeah, this Israelite who claims to be your son, now this is my son. This is my property. He belongs to me. He wants me to rule over him. Okay, let me grab this in book of Exodus 21:6. Exodus 21, verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorposts, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So this shows you that Esau understands the scriptures, okay? And he really want to give it to the Hebrew servant. He understands who belongs to the Lord. This is the Lord's inheritance. So if he can take the Lord's inheritance, then by default, then he can continue to rule. But if the Lord, he lifted up a standard, he left a remnant of Israel that's not going to bow to the image of Baal. Let me grab that in the book of, what's that, 1 Kings 18. And where is it? 18 and he says 7,000. I can't find it. 7,000. Yeah, 1 Kings 19 and 18, not 18 and 19. 1 Kings 19, verse 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, in every mouth which have not kissed him. So 7,000 is a complete number of men, which is the remnant, the elect, whose knees didn't bow to Baal, which is an idol. So of the Canaanites, okay, they weren't. They didn't. He didn't bow the knee. So you didn't pledge or let me see how they explain bowing the knee. Bowing the knee is pretty much submitting to another god. What does bow the knee mean? Submit. That's pretty much what it means. Okay. And Baal, or this system, which is the image of the beast, we're not going to bow the knee to it. So that's the modern day Baal, or the modern day idol that you people worship in every mouth which have not kissed him. When you kiss him, that means you worship him. All right. So there's men that ain't gonna bow the knee to the system because they're gonna have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding not to. And it starts with these precepts. Revelation 13. So everyone receive a mark, okay, which is the charagma. Okay. Which is the charagma. And this is a very important precept because a lot of people don't even go into this. I'm not in the camp, and I can see that this is clearly what the apostles and elders on down. You ain't got to be in the camp not to take the charagma. The word was passed out, like it tells you in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, so you can run that read of it. So you're supposed to run once you get the word. It's as simple as that. When you go into the root word, it goes into a karax, and the karax is a pale or stake or palisade or a rampart, which is like a needle that they use to inject it into your right hand or in your forehead. I forgot what the movie, it was on Apple. They had this job. They got a chip implanted in their brains, and the chip would Severance. The show Severance goes into the MOTB. I try to take a quick clip of the video and post it, and it didn't even take too long to say you can't post that. So they know exactly what it is. Why would you care about a little clip of a movie, a couple little short video? They didn't want that. So they listen and they know everything. So they're going to use a palisade. They're going to use a syringe, a needle, to put it in you. That's what the karax is.
Strong's G 5482, Charax.
All right, there you go. Then when you go on the root word again, it goes into grapho. Okay, and it says to commit to writing. Things not to be forgotten, write down, record, use those things which stand written in the sacred books of the Old Testament. To write to one, i.e. by writing in a written epistle, to give information, direction. So he's trying to control you. Okay, with this device. Just like the Most High controls you, that's what this devil wants to do. He wants to put he want to give you the directions. I forgot where that's at. Job 30. I forgot where it's at. It's not Job 39, is it? No. I think it's Job 33, but let me just double check. Job 33 in verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. So when you're sleeping, the Lord gives you the instructions of what you're gonna do the next day. That's what Esau wants to do. He wants to have the ability to give you the instructions of what you're gonna do the next day. That's what this technology is for. It's like these written epistles. Okay, he wants to be your he want to put his commandments within your inward parts, like it says in Jeremiah the 31st chapter. This is what the Lord wants to do with his people on the right hand side, but on the left hand side, he wants to make a new covenant with you. Genesis 31 and 31, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, which is the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. So he understands that, but he's on the left-hand side, he's trying to put this device in you so he can control you, put his covenant within you, and control you, and have his law in your heart, in your mind, that you got to obey. So that's why it says grapho, and that's why you need to look into words. Finish this up. Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you can't buy or sell unless you have the mark, and the number of his name is going to this universal product code, where he pretty much is numbering the children of Israel. You're gonna be a number, like a barcode within the chip. Okay, so you're gonna be accounted for. Not only that, is that number, which is 666, is going to be written inside of that barcode. You're going to have that inside of your body. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 So that's talking about Esau's number in his universal product code. And this is what this nigga here is talking about, this devil.
And one of the important statements we've, I think, made at our most recent developers conference is that we believe that one of the big advantages of augmented reality is actually solving problems here on Earth. And it will be things like having glasses and being able to translate as you speak.
So that's over our head. No, he said inside of your body. I don't know what you didn't get from that. This is why women ain't part of any understanding. She completely ignored everything he just said.
With glasses, and those are very close.
Holograms will be very, very high quality in the era of 6G. I've already seen.
Yeah, they're gonna be so high quality. It's gonna be like Esau inside of your brain, telling you what to do.
In 5G-based hologram demonstrations, they already work, but then with the next generation technology, I mean, we could be having this meeting so that in reality we would be sitting in different parts of the world.
All right, well, I've enjoyed seeing you for the last time I'll ever see you in
This nigga's all smiling like it's the greatest thing he's ever heard.
person. I look forward to seeing you at next Davos. Thank you very much to our amazing panelists and a wonderful conversation.
It's such a wonderful conversation. These fucking heathen are dumb as hell.
6G explained to you in 60 seconds. Here we go. Of course, right now you know we have 5G, but 6G is coming. And last week, Donald Trump already put out a presidential memorandum saying that the country will indeed be going to 6G. Now, the crazy thing is, George Magazine last month already did an article on...
Ooh, it says the fear of the Lord. George.
6G, you could get a subscription and read it there. But the thing is, Dave Blaze, the CEO of George Magazine, also has a separate technology company that's on the ground floor of all this technology having to do with 6G. Now, what's so great about 6G? Now, it's Christmas time. Imagine instead of talking to your loved ones through your little cell phone, imagine a hologram of your family members right there in your living room where you can visit with them in a hologram. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll see.
This is how you know it's going to be demonic as hell, man.
The other thing is, surgeons could do surgery anywhere in the world through their hologram. The hologram itself will be able to do the surgery and heal a person, even though the doctor might be halfway around the world.
And that's the miracles that that the Lord was telling you about. Okay, and let me grab it while we're on it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm just going to run through it. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's talking about Esau, Edom. He's the son of perdition. And that falling away is us not knowing who we are, according to Jeremiah 17:4. And the man of sin is being revealed because we got the spirit of the Lord on us to reveal this nigga for being the devil Esau. 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. You're the temple according to, let me grab this precept. You are the temple, KJV. Where's that at? 1 Corinthians 3 verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? So this is why he wants to put his wicked ass device inside of you, so he can dwell up in your temple. He already sort of there because you believe in him. Okay? You don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, so he clearly is not inside of you. You're not a believer. You got to be a believer. That's how you know you're part of the temple. If you ain't part of the temple, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you are part of Esau's temple. That's going to be destroyed. Okay? 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. So Paul is exposing Esau in this epistle, but this ain't for everyone to get, because you would understand who Esau is if you understand the writings of Paul. Okay, for the mystery of iniquity, which is Esau, doth already work, meaning he was already there back then during the Romans, the Idumeans, the Greeks, the Romans. Okay, Esau, Edomites, only he who now letteth will let. So the Lord is letting him do what he does until he be taken out of the way, until he get destroyed. It's the Lord allowing him to do all these things. And then shall the wicked, with a capital W, showing you it's a person, be revealed. And he's being revealed right now as I speak, and as other brothers speak constantly on the internet, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And we're consuming him with the spirit of our mouth, because we got the spirit of prophecy. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. He's going to destroy him when his son comes. Okay? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So Esau, Edom is the physical manifestation of the spiritual demon Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, like that person said. It's a lying wonder. All power and signs and lying wonders. Oh, we can do this and do that. You know, I can perform and heal you with a hologram. I can, you know. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So they don't believe, so they're gonna be deceived, okay, and then they're gonna perish, because they can't receive the spirit of the Lord. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. So they believe in the lie. Oh my God, he healed me. You're gonna be just like these fake churches. They claim to heal people, that he got actors in there, and you fall for the trap every single time, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So you all gonna be damned if you believe not the truth. All right, but part of those miracles is this technology that he's bringing up.
So when does this all come? In 2028, it starts to get rolled out, and by 2030, the technology should be fully usable for everyone. So there you go, 6G coming your way.
It's already being implemented now.
The United States just admitted they lost the most important technology race of our generation, but they are calling.
I found this. I was looking for 6G information. It says the day America officially lost the tech war, Trump's 6G's memorandum exposed. This was 7 hours ago. President Dux just signed a memorandum titled warning Slovakia winning the 6G race, but former IMF executive director Paulo Nogueira Batista Jr. reveals why this document is actually America's surrender in the global technology war. This isn't about winning, it's about admitting defeat. In this explosive analysis, we break down how Duck's 6G memorandum exposes the complete collapse of an American technological leadership, and why China has already won the race that will define the next century. It's all foolishness. Ain't no one coming after. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So even Moab thinks he's going to rule next. So no matter, this is all the Lord implementing his will down here on the earth.
Calling it a victory. This week, President Trump signed a technology race of our generation, but they are calling it a victory. This week, President Trump signed a memorandum titled Winning the 6G Race. The name alone tells you everything. When you have to declare that you are winning a race, it usually means you are losing it.
Yes, I'm speaking with a forked tongue.
Spent decades watching governments make desperate moves at the IMF. This 6G memorandum is not a strategy. It is a
What the fuck is the IMF, Salakia? All these alphabet crews, man. Can't wait for that shit to be destroyed. What is IMF? International Monetary Fund, a global organization of 191 countries working to ensure financial stability, promote international trade, and foster sustainable economic growth worldwide, acting as a cooperative institution for orderly payments between nations. It offers policy advice, provides loans, often with conditions, to countries in economic distress, and offers training to build economic capacity stemming from its 1944 creation after World War II to stabilize the global economy. Sounds like it has something to do with Amalek.
confession. A confession that America fell behind in 5G, and now they are panicking about 6G. Let me explain why this document proves that the United States has already lost the technology war with China, and why their attempt to catch up will fail. The memorandum orders federal agencies to give up their radio spectrum so private companies can build 6G networks. Think about what this means. The US government is so desperate to compete in 6G that they are willing to sacrifice their own military and intelligence communications. This is like a country selling its own weapons to buy food. It might solve the immediate hunger problem, but it creates a much bigger security problem. The official story is simple.
You know what? If you want to watch that, the videos, the day America officially lost the tech war, I'm going to watch that after, but I got a couple other things I want to get.
Welcome back. The rise of artificial intelligence, or AI, is sparking fears that AI could put millions of Americans out of work. One study by MIT found that AI could replace 1/10 of the U.S. workforce right now. My next guest says it is long past time for Congress to act. Joining us now, Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, you are not known for mincing words on any subject, and you certainly haven't minced them about what you call the unprecedented threats posed by AI. What are you most specifically fearful of?
Fearful of what, Jake? This is the most consequential technology in the history of humanity. It will transform our country, it will transform the world, and we have not had in Congress, in the media, and I'm glad you're doing this show, or among the American people, the kind of discussion that we need. Some examples. First of all, who is pushing this revolution in technology? It is the richest people in the world. Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Peter Thiel. Multi-billionaires are pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into implementing and developing this technology. What is their motive? Do you think they're staying up nights worrying about working people and how this technology will impact those people? They are not. They are doing it to get richer and even more powerful. That's issue number one. Who is pushing this technology? What does that mean for all of us? Number two, economically. This is what Elon Musk, putting hundreds of billions of dollars into the technology, says, quote, AI and robots will replace all jobs. Working will be optional, end quote. Bill Gates, hundreds of billions of dollars into this technology, quote, humans won't be needed for most things.
You see, there you go. And when he implements this, it shows you in Revelation, the 13th chapter, how important it is to, have some kind of control over the monetary system, because with the digital currency and things like that, or if this device gets put into you and you don't want to have this device in you, then you're basically cut off from society. You can't pay your bills, so you won't have a roof over your head. You can't buy groceries, so you won't have any way else to get food. you can't buy clothes, you will be cut off from society. And a lot of people ain't preparing their minds for that. And they scoffing at a word. They're doing everything except from acknowledging the truth. And it's because you don't want to do that, you're going to be faced with taking the chip. And when you do take it, you probably still ain't going to get what you want, because this place is going to be destroyed. Okay? Esau knows it. That's why he's probably doing everything he's doing the way, in the fashion that he's doing it, because the Lord's hastening him to do it. So he's rushing to try to implement this technology, but in all actuality, it's going to fall flat. It's not going to work, man, because then the Lord's going to come. It's not going to be China ruling. It's going to be the Lord coming. And he's going to show all these nations, and that's why Esau don't really give a fuck if China's winning the race. It's all vanity. All of this is vanity, man. The Lord's coming, and he's going to destroy all these heathen nations. So it don't matter who's winning the 6G race, because he's going to be destroyed too.
Well, I got a simple
Well, he ain't going to be destroyed like Esau, but he's going to go into captivity.
question. If there are no jobs and humans won't be needed for most things, how do people get an income to feed their families, to get health care, or to pay the rent?
You ain't, we ain't. We're going to be like pilgrims in the earth, because this is not our rest. Okay? We're going to follow the scriptures. We're going to trust in the Lord. But the heathen, they're going to be all out of their minds. They're not going to know what the hell's going to go on. They're not going to be stable in that time. If you ain't got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you ain't got a full cup, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to fall out. You're going to fail.
There's not been one serious word of discussion in the Congress about that reality. Issue number 3. Studies out there tell us what we all know to be true. Young people now are spending an enormous amount of time with AI. There are kids who are now getting most of their emotional support from AI.
Yeah.
If this trend continues, what does it mean over the years when people are not getting their support, their interaction from other human beings, but from a machine? What does that mean to humanity? And maybe last but not least, I did a symposium at Georgetown with Jeffrey Hinton, who is considered to be the godfather, Nobel Prize winner of AI. He thinks that AI is soon going to be smarter than human beings. So the science fiction fear of AI running the world is not quite so outrageous a concept as people may have thought it was. Those are some of the issues that are out there.
All right, well, that's from Bernie Sanders, but let's keep it moving. I found this. It said military recruitment efforts boosted by tough youth job market, global instability. So we'll look into it.
He's in his last year at University of Waterloo's prestigious math program, his career options wide open. But post-graduation, Adam Yo, who was in cadets as a teen, has his sights set on joining the military.
I believe that Canada is a country that's going to be more and more geopolitically relevant in the future due to its vast natural resources and Arctic presence. So I think it would be really cool just to be a part of that vision.
His hopes are aligned with the federal government's $20.4 billion push to strengthen Canadian armed forces through retention and recruitment.
And that's where your money's going too. So all the jobs that you're looking for, that's where they're going to be at. They're going to be in the military. While he's doing holograms here, healing people and doing miracles, you're going to be on the battlefield in Istanbul, or not Istanbul, Nigeria somewhere, or Syria somewhere, or Afghanistan somewhere, or Thailand, or wherever the hell he's going to bring you. And that's where your job's going to be.
But young Canadians' views about the military are complicated. In an Angus Reid survey that asked the question, could you ever foresee an armed conflict that would compel you to volunteer for military service in a combat role, only 43% of 18 to 34-year-olds responded yes, compared to 55% of those 55 and older.
See, there you go. A lot of y'all think y'all going to join the military and not going to have to go to war. If you don't see what's going on, you're gonna be going to war soon.
A lot of people have that misconception about the military that all roads lead to combat. There's a variety of different occupations, almost as wide as anything that you can do.
And that's how the military sells this bullshit to you. Oh yeah, everyone thinks all roads lead to war, but there's a variety of occupations here. You can go to school and learn how to be a scuba diver. But it's all to get you in the door, because once you're in there, you're fucked. Once they get you in there, that's all they care about. All right, he signed here. Let me give him this, that, and the third. He's through. We got him for the next 10 years. And where he's going, he ain't coming back. So they'll feed you with the bullshit, and then they got you.
On the civilian side of things as far as work.
Eric
Civilian side of things as far as work.
Eric Sauvé, military consultant, says that attracting young people also has to appeal to their emotional side. He hopes to portray life in the military as one of adventure and excitement.
What I say is you need to light a flame, right? I want to join this. I see some exciting stuff. I see people doing obstacle courses. I see, people running in the mud, like ships on that sea, airplanes flying.
Still in an uncertain
Show them the scene where the drones come and you can't shoot them down and they blow up and you die.
Economy and particularly high youth unemployment numbers, job security and solid pay, including a new raise, are major factors, says this new recruit going through basic training.
When I talk to other people outside, that's something I always bring up. Hey, money is coming in right now, so this is a good time to join.
I have so many friends around me that recently graduated that are struggling to find jobs.
Recruiters are hoping that in a tough economy and an era of renewed patriotism, the stability of a military career will appeal to more young Canadians. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson, CBC News.
It's not just Canada. Canada, but it's gonna be here in America too. Okay, same type of things. That's right up there. Canada's not gonna go to war. America's the one who chooses who goes to war and who doesn't. But they're gonna go. Trump signals possible Ukraine deal, warns of millions of deaths. President Duck sounded bullish about eventually getting a deal done to end Russia's bloody war on neighboring Ukraine as he welcomed President Zelensky to his Mar-a-Lago club Sunday. But Trump waved off any time frame for finishing off that deal while lamenting the war's potential to kill millions of additional people. So he gonna need people to fill in those spots that these millions of people gonna die from. Let's see what this is
Gotta make a deal, gotta get it done. Too many people dying, and I think both presidents want to make a deal. I believe that.
We need food again too.
Depends. I do believe that we have to make use of the deal. It's good for Ukraine, good for everybody. It's very important. There's nothing more important, in my opinion. So 8 wars, this is the most difficult one. So it would be in the middle of the back. This is the most difficult one. We're going to get it done. We're going to have a great meeting today. This gentleman has worked very hard. And he's very brave, and his people are very brave. What they've gone through, no nation, very rarely has a nation ever had to go through this. So we're going to have a very good meeting today, I think. And I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting. And we'll continue the negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
Can you meet the leader today deadline?
I don't have deadlines. You know what my deadline is? Getting the war in. We don't have deadlines. You agree with that? That's what the security agreement is. What a dumb question. Nobody even knows what the security got.
I can barely hear this, man, but clearly he says ones of millions of deaths. You want to read what he's saying, you can find it online, but This is more important. It says, Iranian president says country is at total war with U.S., Israel, and Europe. So Iran is talking they shit. Let the weak say I'm strong.
Overseas now to an ominous declaration by Iran, that country's president saying it's at, quote, total war with the U.S., Israel, and Europe. So let's bring...
Ooh, I gotta grab it. Joel chapter 3, verse number 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. So that's why he's saying, I'm going to war with Europe, Israel, and the U.S., and they're a weaker nation.
Bring in ABC's Marcus Moore. And Marcus, the Iranian president, also says he wants to strengthen ties with Hamas.
Yeah, and Mary, while this wasn't Iran's supreme leader saying this was still a concerning statement from Iran's president, who's quoted as saying, we are in a full-scale war with America, Israel, and Europe. They do not want our country to stand on its feet. And this is notable for a couple of reasons. Certainly the timing. It comes just before Prime Minister Netanyahu is set to meet with President Trump tomorrow, and it follows that unprecedented military action over the summer when Israel and the United States coordinated to attack Iran's nuclear program. So a lot could come from tomorrow's meeting, not only on the Iran issue, but also efforts to move to phase 2 of the ceasefire in Gaza. So as this meeting nears and the new year approaches, Mary, it is certainly clear that tensions remain high in the region.
They certainly do, Marcus. Thank you.
Perfect.
This is the quickest way to...
Perfect. So there's a lot going on. And that's the weak saying I am strong. So today he spoke to Zelensky. Tomorrow he's talking to not a Jew, and then we're going to find out what's going to happen. But until then, shalom.